Day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're alright, 'cause it's time for the Abnormal Barders. So, of course, we have Lunar week 2. Tomorrow, it will be March 4 swipe. We are expecting an early rust rotation tomorrow, okay? So be prepared. Okay, cool. So, no more holiday-themed skins for a while. We do have Easter on the horizon. They'll probably start getting skins submitted for maybe like 2 weeks' time. We'll see. Anyway, so, yes. We have to acknowledge that all of these skins here, they're not going to get any collection continuations for at least another year or so, okay? We did see some very interesting designs. Quite a lot of them happen to be abnormal. Only some of them happen to be regular skins. Now, some of you watching this right now, you might be a little bit confused. Abnormal? Regular skins? What's this going about? Do you need help? Well, let's go quickly sort that out now. If you could just look at the description, at the very top are 2 videos listed. The very top video, which is a short video, will quickly showcase to you that abnormal skins, they become marketable before the rust even rotates. So, in short, we know exactly when these skins are going to become marketable. It's in about 30 minutes from now, midnight UK time. Face Puncher's based in the UK, so, okay. So, what we'll do is we'll figure out prices for these skins, and then, of course, when the time is right, we'll race to get those barders down, and hopefully we're the people that pick up those skins for a much cheaper price in the future and flip them for some sweet, delicious looking profit. Oh, yes. And of course, regular skins, they only become marketable when the rust rotates tomorrow, which I'll repeat, should be early tomorrow because it's a March 4 swipe. So, okay, cool. So, an update day, a nice early rust store to look forward to. Lovely. Now, if you want to learn a lot more in regards to abnormals, if you're not be able to identify them, know when they appear and whatnot, consider watching the second video listed in the description. It's about 20 minutes long, but it'll explain everything to you, alright? So after watching that, you basically understand, oh wow, yeah, okay, that definitely helps with investing into rust skins and whatnot. So, alright, cool. Understood. Shall we go ahead, look at all these skins, try and figure out some prices for them. Chinese panel wooden double door. We have talked a lot about this. Like, a month ago, I first see it, I'm like, wow, Imagine if that's accepted. And then a good few weeks later, oh, wow, it's accepted. Oh. So, the one concern was it going to sell a lot? But the other potential concern is, will other people or other skin creators make wooden double doors with the same amount of transparency? When one skin creator gets away with it, all the other skin creators will try as well. So a perfect example. Last year we saw the Heatseeker SAR with a very transparent aim sight. Since then, nearly every single SAR skin I see being submitted to the Rust Workshop has a version with that same amount of transparency. And a good few weeks ago, we did happen to see the Hellcore SAR being accepted. So, okay. Give it time. It wouldn't surprise me. Twitch drop, kick drop, or a skin for the Rust store. I'm sure we're going to see more skins like that. When, though? Good shout. I should point out we're not going to see it being the focused item of the month anytime soon because it's already happened. August 2025, we saw a lot of them being accepted. For a while, they weren't doing very nicely. After post-Christmas, some of them have recovered quite nicely, so that's nice to see. So, I'm under the impression we're going to go back to normal with wooden double door skins. What does that mean? We're not going to see that many of them being submitted. Oh, okay then, fair enough. I should point this out though. You might recall quite recently we did happen to see a very interesting revolver with a very transparent aim sight. This past weekend I saw quite a lot of revolvers being submitted with a very similar amount of transparency, aka other skin creators noticed, wow, that with that transparency getting tons of sales, I want that too. So, okay, you get the idea. If one person gets away with it and succeeds greatly, the other skin creators will try and do the same. So give it time. I'm a little bit worried we might be seeing quite a few more wooden double doors on the horizon, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon because the skin creators are dedicated to trying to get some armored double door skins submitted. Why is that? Because it's the focused item of the month for March. So if I could just quickly keep you informed, like we've been keeping track of the recent skin submissions, not holiday themed, just nice regular skins. Notable collections here and whatnot, but with the armored double doors, you can see here we've got the pretty cool designs. We've got Twisted Metal, we've got Oasis right there. Over to here, this past weekend, a lot more collection continuations, so some pretty odd, strange looking designs. Ultramarine armored double door, Space Station, Dragonhorn, Temple, Fireflies, Bee, and various other designs as well. Yeah, the skin creators are focusing armored double doors for the current time period. But what about next month? Well, we have Easter in the way. Okay, that might be a bit of a saving grace. So maybe at bare minimum, you won't see any more, well, actually, hang on a minute. You could see a wooden double door for Easter. What's stopping the skin creators from doing something very similar to that with lots of transparency? Like add some bunnies and I don't know, some chickens, I don't know. You get the idea. So, ooh, okay, uh-oh. Priced at $3.49, that most likely is the reason why it didn't sell that much. 20,700, it's a lot to a point, but it's not a ridiculous amount. It's not like 50,000 subscribers. No, it's 20,700. So you should expect quite a decent amount of them on the Steam market, on third-party sites for a while. Give it time, no. Maybe that might dwindle, we'll see. But if we do start seeing more skins like that being submitted and potentially accepted, well, don't be surprised if you see a lot more of them being listed. Anyway, so looking at you, a perfectly fine, very advantageous design. You can see through it perfectly. It doesn't glow in the dark. Is it always going to be used a lot? In regards to wooden double doors, if your base is going to have sheet metal double doors, garage doors, at some point you will be using wooden double doors. So something like that would probably be appreciated, but maybe not all the time. Quick spray can, spray, look around, is anybody out there? It's not the only wooden double door transparency as well. Like maybe some people would prefer to use the charity skin, do you remember the charitable rust wooden double door we got for free? Yeah. That glowed in the dark. That doesn't. Anyway, this will just probably be appreciated regardless because of the pay-to-win feature. Like, people just big it up. There's nothing like this at the moment. So, yeah, for the foreseeable future, maybe it's just going to be A-OK, much like what we saw quite some time back with that Christmas rust door. What are you talking about, Hedge? That sheet metal double door. However, that gets a lot more usage. It's a sheet metal double door. True, true. So, yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense. So what I'm looking at here is, okay, I believe there'll be quite a lot of support for it. I won't be surprised if around the summertime it gets a pretty good boost, pending we don't see another wooden double door skin being accepted, more specifically, one with that amount of transparency. So in regards to what price to offer, I think I'm probably going to do a pretty solid barter of like $2.20 to $2.70. I think at its worst it might go down to about $3. Therefore, my $2.70 barter would be pretty sweet. And yeah, when times are great, I won't be surprised they'll be pushing up to probably $5 around the summertime if everything works out nicely. Do things normally work out nicely? Well, you'd hope, right? So yeah, I want to go pretty strong with that. I just want to be a little bit sensible as well. I might still buy some after tonight. If the barter amount is really strong, if there's tons of barters in it, yeah, I'll probably just be buying some regardless. So, okay, fair enough. You have the horse garage door. Let's just take a quick... Oh, there you go, down 47%. Literally 1 week later. Although, that did do 18,000 subscribers. This right here, 13,300. And if I could just quickly remind myself, the 48-hour analysis, you can see with your own eyes, the wooden double door, it's currently between 18 to 21,000. The garage door, well, it's currently between 13 to 15,000 subscribers. So we kind of thought correct there. We made a pretty solid estimate. So now what do we expect? Well, it wouldn't surprise me if this still pushes up to about 14,000 by tomorrow. I still expect it to drop off. I still expect its price to drop off, considering I really wouldn't be surprised if we could, still see garage doors being accepted and whatnot. Although, maybe for March that slows down, because I think we'll mainly be seeing armored double doors and, of course, barbecues. So, okay, maybe we're going to finally take a bit of a break from garage doors, but we still have lots of them. We still have had lots of them so far this year already, and yeah, it still wouldn't surprise me if we surpass last year's amount that are accepted. Remember the halfway point when we're looking at all the garage doors when it was about the summertime? Pretty much every single one of them was down in price bad, and I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing will be said with this lot. Maybe Hazma will retain enough. Maybe it'll still suffer as we go through March and April. So, point I'm trying to get across is I expect it to go down. In regards to what I see here, 70 cents to $1. Jade Dragon Tier 2 armor. It has not sold that much, and that's basically what we're expecting. But to my surprise, I thought that Tier 2 armor was going to do between 11 to 13,000 subscribers. Currently, it's on the lower side of things. These two pieces, slightly below 11,000. This right here, slightly above 11,000. I thought it'd be like 12 or 13,000 by now. Nope. All right then. So I should point out the colour of the green, it does stand out on like the grassy plains. In shaded areas, it's not too bad, but it's still kind of somewhat bright. But in the jungle, it's a-okay. So for what it is, honestly, it's not a bad cheap option for some green camouflage. It's not perfect, but for the price that it is, it doesn't do that too bad of a job. Now, in regards to a nice, affordable green road sign kilt, that right there is perfect. That is the cheapest option right now in regards to all the other kilts. So let's just go ahead and remind you. Some people might mention this. I'm not really a fan of the Fawn Glove Tier 2. Lots of people are begging me saying, Hedge, please talk about it. It's got roses all over it. Are you colourblind? Yeah, that gets noticed too much. This right here, though, it is cheaper in comparison to Fish road sign pants. It is cheaper in comparison to Sail Kilt. Not by a lot, but it's still the cheapest approachable green road sign kilt. So in regards to what we have here, I think by default, you might see that retaining quite nicely. But there's a big difference between retaining and being profitable, okay? Like the Sail Kilt, for example, was slightly profitable, but only by a few pennies. So in that particular instance, maybe you might just be better off with a buy order. But then again, it hasn't sold that much. So this is the annoying thing, trying to figure out what might be the best move. To be honest with you, if you were to ask me, like if you had some funds and you're going to sit there and say, Hedge, I need to make sure I don't lose any pennies, what's the best option? I think that road sign kilt probably would be the safest option, because the potential to see more wooden double doors like that could cause issues with that. But I don't think we'll be seeing any more green armor for a while. Maybe we see temple boots and gloves tomorrow. Ha 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 ha. Wishful thinking. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, so I think that'll probably retaining quite nicely. I think people treat it nicely. I think that could do pretty nicely, especially considering it hasn't sold so much, and I just don't have that much faith that we'll see any more green stuff being accepted for a while. Pair that kilt up with some Temple Tier 3, I think you're pretty good. Put on the flashback sodium pants, you got yourself a nice cheap green camouflage set. And let me just quickly remind you, speaking of cheap camouflage, let's just quickly switch over to here. So budget, the magical word, what do we see? Oh yeah, Hedge's video where he showcases budget camouflage options. He put that out at the very beginning of January 2026. I hope you enjoyed the video if you have not yet watched it. There's lots of chapters considering the video goes on for an hour and a half. But I was dedicated to showcase to you that cheap options are still quite effective in their biomes and whatnot. So yeah, get the idea. Cool. Lovely. Right then, so hopping out of, well, actually back over to here. As we've already pointed out, yep, Tier 2 isn't selling too ridiculously. What prices are we going to offer then? Just to remind you, road sign kilt and vest are $2. The helmet is $1.49. For the road sign kilt, $1.20 to $1.70. For the road sign vest, $1 to $1.50. And for the helmet, I'd do 80 cents to $1.20. That's what I'm going to do. I believe all three pieces are going to work out reasonably well. I should also point out, just for a quick look at like coffee cans, Slime Monster is doing really well for itself, which is quite surprising to me. It wouldn't surprise me to see more of that this upcoming Halloween. Anyway, Cargo Heli's doing very well for itself. Sail Kilt's doing a-okay, sold for $1.49. That sits there at just over $2. Scroll. Reptile Hunter Kilt, that's $7.50. Not too surprising. But if I could also point out, some people are probably going to say, where's the fish kilt? Fish helmet. Fish helmet and vest came out earlier in comparison to the road sign kilt. So are you surprised to see that selling for just over $4? And then you might be surprised to see like even Frog Cosplay coffee cans doing very well for itself. I'm looking at that coffee can and I'm thinking that I might even want to go ahead and buy some of those. I wouldn't joke to you. I think that's actually a very, very interesting spot. The only concern is it's got like quite a lot of black on the front. Same can be said with the vest. So let me just quickly show that to you. Can you see it pretty easily here? Yeah, you can see it pretty easily. So there and there. Yeah. Maybe that's a problem. In shaded areas, maybe it's not that much of a problem. Hey, I might just be overthinking it. So yeah, right, cool. So yeah, honestly, all three pieces are looking pretty interesting, pretty appealing. Right, so we also happen to have the locker. Now the locker looks very nice, but it is like the third locker so far this year. But I don't think we'll be seeing a locker like this anytime soon. That is a spectacle. That is a serene, lovely, quaint, ever so relaxing looking design. I'm not sure if it's going to retain its price though. It is $3. And if we do see a lot more options for lockers, aka a lot more locker skins being accepted, oh no, you very likely could get lost in a shuffle. But if we don't see that many lockers this year, maybe it could still work out. Only 8,700 subscribers. But guess what? This only had 7,200. Well, that's not a very in-demand collection, the Oasis collection now, is it? No, no. So, yeah. Remember, last year, we saw quite a lot. But wouldn't that mean this year, maybe we won't see that many Twitch drops? Maybe this year we won't see any charity skins? Maybe it could hold up? Maybe it could do okay? Like the glow-in-the-dark on this, it looks really nice. Looks quite pretty. I'm kind of under the impression this actually could still work out quite nicely. I kind of want to do like $1.50 and $2. I don't think we're going to see that much being listed. And I hope we see no more than maybe 3 more lockers this year, which would then be not as bad compared to last year. Fingers crossed. Again, if we're going to start seeing barbecues like being made now and whatnot, like with more deployable options for brand new skinnables, you'd probably see a lot less garage doors, and lockers and fridges, so maybe that'll work out nicely. So keep an eye on that. I think that Lunar Horse Shrine locker actually might be a pretty interesting thing to consider. So yeah, $1.50 to $2 for a $3 skin. Then we have the Emperor Tier 3. Now purely based on the fact that we could potentially see a collection continuation next year, I'm going to work around this with like I think I'm going to do 60 cents to 80 cents. That's a bit low, isn't it? Yes. But more specifically, in the past, we've gone down this road already. Do you remember Dragon's Fury? Yep, I'm sure you do. So basically, this came out last year. A completely independent core piece. We see it being accepted, and we question, well, how are we going to approach this? Because, of course, the only thing we have going for it is if we see a collection continuation next year. That was submitted, wasn't accepted, but it still rose up in price in anticipation for it, and now it's actually doing much better than where it was before. But let's just remind ourselves, for quite a long time, this was not doing very well. Sold for $2, and it went as low as about 60, 70 cents. So that's why I want to do about 60 to 80 cents. I want to try and pick up these tier 3 pieces for potentially their cheapest price, and then hopefully next year, we see more of the Emperor collection. Tier 2, hoodie and pants, boots and gloves, whatever it could be, if we see it happen, that will spike in one, spike in price. But by itself, I don't think people are going to care too much about it. But if we do see collection continuations, okay, then people will care. So I'm trying to play it smart. I want to learn from the past. 60 cents to 80 cents. Right then, so now that we have that out of the way, we can talk about the Jade Rock, which has not sold that much, only 6,500 subscribers. So, okay, yeah, that's not that much. Wow, you have actually sold the least we have seen in a very long time. What's the lowest selling rock skin we've seen? Okay, it was Mr. Chick Rock. I didn't want to say that name. Now everybody's going to sit there and keep yapping about it. Anyway, that sold next to nothing, and for a very long time, that has retained its value and done very nicely. But it looks like a chick and a rock. Like, come on now. It's spectacular. Anyway, so this right here, maybe due to a sheer lack of like listings and whatnot, because it sold next to nothing, that could work out quite nicely in the future. It's a bit featureless though. It's green and it's got that special coin in it, and I don't know what the coin means. I actually asked, and I don't think anybody actually responded about that. It's just a nice looking rock. It's a rock. Maybe it just works out all right. But there's a big difference between retaining value and, like, you know, is it actually selling? Quite a lot of skins you might look at on SCMM and Rust Help, and you'll be like, oh wow, that's actually slightly in a positive. Good for that. But it might only be doing like 2 sales a day with like only 10 listings on the Steam market. Could that fate befall onto this rock? So props to the skin creator, Mr. Krabby. He's been making some interesting designs recently. See, I could see that still working out quite all right. I'll sit here and say this. Don't request too much. $1.20 to $1.70, but I would probably, at best, I would probably suggest only offering up to about like 30 requests, and that would be it. because I don't think we'll be seeing that much of it on the Steam market. And of course, third-party sites and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. So, cool. Then we have the rug from Mr. Stabby McStabface, which didn't sell that much in the end. Doesn't really look like a rug, does it? No, it's more of a decoration to put on the side. But it doesn't glow in the dark or anything. Not that that's like the end-all, be-all, but I honestly believe if that glowed, people probably would appreciate it a whole lot more. Hey, you got it accepted, so props to you, Stabby. Have you hidden an Alistair on this? I never actually questioned that. Anyway, I'm not sure what to think of this, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up like the previous ones. It's a bit awkward because SUMM... Oh, it works now. Okay, there you go. We have seen some Lunar New Year rug skins that are actually decorations. Let's go over to here. Let's just remind ourselves. And this is... There you go. There's one. So what we have here is the Dragon Fan rug. Now, right now, it's still below its store price. Sold for $2.49, sits there at $1.80, but it has been cheaper because I can confirm to you, yeah, it got bad, real bad at one point. So that at one point was selling for just barely over $1. Then it went all the way up to like $2. It's had a bit of a bumpy ride. Kind of expecting the same fate to happen to our brand new rug. Let me just also quickly go over to here. Didn't we see a rug last year as well? At least once. We had 2 weeks of thingy last year, so... let's go to the second week. Didn't we have a rug? There you go. We also haven't had the amulet rug. So, yeah, if you don't remember, it looks like this. It's definitely more of a decoration than a rug. So, point made. That actually went back up and above its store price. I guess a lot of people are buying it in anticipation for Lunar New Year. And, yeah, that recovered and that went into becoming a profit. But at one point, it was selling for about 90 cents USD. So, sold for $2.49, went down to 90 cents. Now it's gone all the way up to oh no, sold for $2. Now it's just slightly above $2. So basically, don't be surprised if that same situation happens with our brand new rug. Okay, so those other rugs didn't glow in the dark. I look at this, I question, you know what? I just probably do like 70 cents to 90 cents. Yeah. That'll be what I'll do. Yep, 70 cents, 90 cents. So that is all the abnormal skins. Now let's talk about the regular skins. Lunar Horses SKS. To my surprise, only just barely over 12,000 subscribers. I kind of wasn't expecting that much, so let's just quickly remind you, I thought the SKS was going to do between 11 to 13,000 subscribers. It's basically smack dab in the middle. But yeah, SKS has only recently become skinnable, and now we've already got ones like this selling like next to nothing. But there will be a lot more SKS skins on the horizon. Twitch drops, kick drops, you name it. It's inevitable, okay? So I kind of wouldn't be surprised if you eventually get lost in the shuffle, but I don't know how you're going to behave. Because it's so new, I don't know if that's going to end up being like a 60 cent to 80 cent buy order. Maybe all SKS skins manage to stay above $1. I'll just play it safe, though. I'm just going to say 60 cents to 80 cents. I don't want to like mess around. Just play it safe. We'll learn from this, okay? Cool. Then we also happen to have the Year of the Horse Handmade LMG. I don't trust handmade LMGs. I've been noticing that they haven't been returning very nicely, so I'll just be doing 60 cents to 80 cents for that. And then we also happen to have the SAP. So, SAP. How you doing, SAP? I don't really expect too much with this, but it also hasn't sold that much. And let's just also point out, as of recent, SAP skins haven't exactly been doing spectacular. They used to be very reliable, not so much anymore right now, though. But, you know, this has sold quite like next to nothing, and it has a lot more of a design compared to Meteorite. So what I'm going to say is I'll probably do like 80 cents to $1.20. I don't expect it to crash and burn, but I wouldn't be surprised if it drops off for a while, then recovers as time goes on. So that's my expectation. And then we have the Lunar Zodiac spinning wheel. This one glows in the dark. So recently we have seen like the Dutch spinning wheel. We've seen the Loves Me Not spinning wheel. I'm very much under the impression this is also going to probably end up at about maybe like 70 cents to $1. But it glows, so it stands out quite nicely. You can put it anywhere, so you can get a nice bit of glow at a certain point in your room. I'll probably only offer up to about 50 cents, maybe 70 cents as well. I don't fully trust it, so 50 to 70 cents. I'd like to be proven wrong, but I don't think spinning wheels are ever going to be like useful or helpful. It's just a fun little extra trinket you can put in your base, so yeah. Right, so that's it. We've got 7 minutes to go, so I will repeat. The expectations for tomorrow, I am expecting a barbecue skin. I am expecting an armoured double door skin to be accepted. I am expecting an early rust rotation. So if I could just quickly show you micro522.com, I can showcase to you the top performing skins. Blue Rose AK-47 with a transparent aim sight. Loads of people keep complaining about anime skins, and yet they're always the top performing, top supported skins. You people are strange. Rot. Iron Barbecue has been supported a lot. That got some traction on Twitter. Lots of people were saying some very nice words about that. So best luck to Mr. Domch. Then we have the Whale Song Sheet Metal Door. That's also doing very well for itself. I think that won't be too bad of a surprise. I wouldn't say no to that. Looks very nice and peaceful, lovely and quaint. And then, of course, we have the Blackout Revolver. If that gets accepted tomorrow, I might scream. Well, I mean, that would be a nice investment, but what about all the other recent revolvers? Oh dear, oh no. Maybe complete the sets in about half a year's time. I'll accept that. That'd be fine. I'll live with that. So yeah. Some very nice looking skins. Micro522.com is listed in the description. Just go down. You can see that for yourself. Although I should point out, Space Station Armored Double Door has more support in comparison to the Blackout Revolver. So that's a good shout as well. Lots of interesting designs have been submitted. I hope you have been keeping track of the recent Rust Workshop skin checks video. So yeah, everything's chaptered. That's a collection continuation. There was a lot of skins. There was a lot of collection continuations. Surprisingly, though, not that much clothing and armor this week. So, all right, cool. So I think that's it. Yeah, Boxes DLC is expected for tomorrow as well. I worry. What price are they going to sell it for? I would say at least $30. Honestly, I think Face Punch could sell it for $40, even $50. But realistically speaking, I think they'll probably sell it for about 20 to 30. 30, I think, would be the right amount. But I think they could list it for 50 and people would still buy it. Yeah. If it's 50, I think our storage collections wouldn't suffer so bad. Although they've already started suffering, so too late. And yeah, the update tomorrow. So not a massive update, just lots of tweaks and changes and some very necessary changes for the deep sea. So cool. Right, so chat, make sure you get your practice barders down and make sure you're nice and ready because we have the barders to do. Let's now skip ahead and proceed to do just that. 3, 2, 1, boop. Right, so I bet you it's all immediately appeared. I haven't got my extension on. Whoops, didn't prepare for that by the time I look over to here, but no, I thought it'd appear by then. Come on, appear now. Can't do it too much, I'll get the request issue. Now, okay. 200 listings. I copied it. I might have made a mistake there. All right, that's life. All right, still haven't got the Jade Dragon roadside kilt. Should I do a second barter already? Let's just quickly double check again. All right, let's go do that second barter right now. So second barter on the China's Panel Wooden Double Doors. I can see it's got barters already up to $3. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is put down my nice and tasty barter right here, and I just request 40, and that should be okay. Now let's switch back over to here. Jade Dragon, no, damn. Right, no locker. Where is everything? Ah, there we go. Ah, that's looking nice. Yes. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And come on, Jade Dragon. Right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is do the second barter over to here. Yes, let's go to the second barter for that Jade Dragon roadside kilt. So it is a $2 skin, and I said I was going to go all the way up to about $1.70. So let's go ahead and do just that. Right, back over to here. Can we see the other pieces? Thank you. Right, so the coffee can. People, you got to remember the coffee can is looking pretty sweet as well. Sweet like chocolate. It brings me so much joy. Sweet like chocolate. Hedge, why are you singing this? Now it's in my head. Damn you, Hedge. Look what you've gone and done. All right. Okay, so for this, you still want to kind of go a similar amount. Sweet like chocolate. Yeah. I'm just going to go for £1. I realised I probably went a little bit too high on my first barter. Well, such is life. Boom, boom. Let's see how that... You know what? Let's just go request 40. Yeah, boom, done. Right, yeah. This account's almost exhausted anyway. So, yeah, I think that's a decent amount of barters. I'm now going to go ahead, skip ahead, and then we'll look at all the skins, and we'll see how good is the abnormal barter support. Should we actually go ahead, jump in, and buy some of these skins straight from the Rust store? Okay, so it's a little bit later. You can see some of the prices are starting to appear, looking pretty cool. Let's now go ahead and start talking about the abnormal barter support. Well then, 33 listings already, above $4, but the barters, well, I will sit here and say I am tempted. I might actually just grab myself like maybe 30 or so. But yes, this is barters going all the way up to $3 and a little bit above. But again, the possibility of seeing more. I reckon we're going to start seeing Easter skin submissions maybe in about 2 weeks' time. Considering Easter is April 5, 2026, right? That would mean if we're going to have 2 weeks of Easter, we'd probably have 2 weeks before for all the skins to be submitted. Yeah, that's going to probably start happening fairly soon. Do you think someone's going to turn up and try and do an Easter wooden double door with a lot of transparency? We'll see what happens. So if you're questioning it, maybe just stick with a barter, but then again, it already looks like very strong. Maybe it just goes up in price instantly. Maybe people just don't care. Maybe people realise, well, I probably won't use wooden double doors that much. There's so much to consider. It's annoying. So by all means, if you're thinking, I could just probably go get, grab a few, see what happens next. I don't blame you. I might just do that. So, yeah, I think you could just put down a strong $3 barter, see if you can pick them up for 50 cents cheaper and hopefully, flip it in the future. But you're going to have to probably wait until the summertime, more specifically July and August time, or January 2027, to sell it for some good profit, okay? So if that doesn't sound very good to you, maybe just avoid it. Maybe just stick with a lower price barter and see what happens in the future, all right? So I don't blame you if you're cautious. It's $3.49. It's a bit pricey, so yeah, looking solid. And I would say if you wanted to, it's not a bad shout. It's just, are you confident? Jade Dragon Tier 2. So more specifically, the kilt right now. Lots of buy orders. There's a lot of support behind this. I don't think this is going below $2 anytime soon. This also looks like a perfectly fine thing to consider buying. Honestly, you could put down a solid $1.80 barter. I think you'll be able to pick these up for a cheaper price in the future. I think that'll probably stay above its price for a while as well. As time goes on, it might even out and end up at like $2.50. When times are good, you might see it rise up even higher. It's not the absolute most perfect green armor, but it's cheap, it's affordable, it's approachable, and it does a decent job. And that's good enough for a lot of people, okay? So I can see that working out very nicely. Again, the kilt, probably a good consideration. Now looking at the Red Sign vest, with all due respect, that's also doing very good. I think that's still a very good shout to consider buying as well. So as I look at this, yeah, we might not see a collection continuation until next year, but at least we have that, okay? And if that does happen, and if it does get accepted, I mean, yeah, Jade Dragon might turn into a pretty interesting collection, which we'll have to wait every year for. But it is made by Duck, the skin creator behind the Neon Storage skins and the other various Neon skins and Brutalist and whatnot. I know he can pull it off, and I hope he manages to. So, okay. For this, it's sold for the same price at $2. I think you could just put down a solid $1.80 barter in this as well and try and pick them up for a cheaper price. And I wouldn't blame you if you buy this as well. And that, of course, leads us to the coffee can. That is selling at $1.49. It's already got barters above. Well, just like 10, but the point still remains. There's a lot of support behind this. That's got a pretty good future ahead of it as well. Like it's the coffee can and the kilt more specifically that look like they'll do better. But that's still looking good. That's looking very good. Yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. You can still put down like a $1.30 barter, but look at all the support it already has. It's interesting. It's hoping it does work out nicely. Now over to here, Lunar Horse Shrine Locker. It's got a decent amount of barters above $2. After that, it drops off a bit down to $1.70, and then after that, it goes down to about $1.30. it has not sold that much. Will we see a lot of listings, or will it just be quiet, not do too much, a decent amount of sales every day? Maybe it just might stay above $5 for the foreseeable future. We'll see. It's a very nice, very appealing looking design. Props to Skin Creator for getting accepted. Keep an eye on it. I think if you genuinely wanted to buy a bunch of these, offer $2.30. I think you could get them for 70 cents cheaper each. Year of the Horse Garage Door, that's not retaining its price. That very likely will go down to $1. Offer $1, save yourself a decent amount. Let's see if it works out. I have doubts. Sorry to say, I don't think that'll be A-OK. So that looks like it has some problems. Emperor Metal Face Mask. I told you the game plan. Basically, we expect it to drop off over the course of the next year or so. But in the lead up to Lunar New Year 2027, if we do see Emperor Tier 2, hoodie and pants or boots and gloves, if it gets accepted as well, that'll very likely start going up in price, both of them. But if you really want to pick up a bunch of them, just offer like 90 cents, maybe $1. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually pick up quite a lot of them, right? I do believe this will be dropping off, so prepare for the long term. And then Jade Rock, well, to my surprise, it didn't get that much support, but it also didn't sell that much either. Okay, well, it's got a barger up to $1.60. We'll see what happens next, but it really didn't sell that much. It's not too insane with its design, but I don't think it's going to crash and burn. I don't expect that many listings. So keep an eye on this one as well. You could just literally offer, and I've got to remind myself, what price are you selling for again? You could just literally offer a $2 barter, try and pick these up for 50 cents cheaper. I could see that actually working out quite all right. Just don't request too much. And then over to here, the Year of the Fire Horse Wall Pendant. Barter's only at around $1. I do believe this will drop off. I'm not sure how low it'll go, but I wouldn't be surprised if as time goes on, it will start to improve. And, you know, in preparation for next year, yeah, you get the idea. So, yeah, honestly, they are all looking perfectly fine to consider buying. Might be a bit risky considering what could happen, but I think we're probably good. I certainly don't expect to see any more green clothing armor to be accepted anytime soon. Although tomorrow, temple boots and gloves, maybe. We'll see. I was surprised to see the Reptile Hunter tactical gloves being accepted. That was also a big surprise. So, all right, cool. It's in your hands now. What are you going to do? Well, you better think quickly, because if you're watching this during your lunch break tomorrow, the Rush Store is expected to rotate early. It's March Force Wipe and updates on the horizon. You get the idea. So, okay. Well, make sure you're ready for those regular skins. They will become marketable quite early. And now we just sit here and wait and wonder what happens next. So, Steam charts is down. I'm looking at the player count. How many people do you reckon are going to turn up tomorrow? Or at least over the course of the weekend? I would imagine we'll still see over 200,000 people. It's not a big update, is it? But it certainly is some refining with all the naval content. So no more ribs in deep sea, which is good to see. You better make a boat, right? You better make a boat. But yeah, it makes things a whole lot more interesting. Like, how many of you are actively trying to get a boat now? Are you enjoying yourself? I just took part in the Armada event recently, this past weekend. Oh, the screaming and the shouting to make the boat turn the right way. Turn the engines off. Reverse the engines. Put them forward again. Put the anchor down. Put the anchor up. Ah. It's actually quite fun. It's hectic and stressful in the moment, but it's funny looking back at it. And I'll have a video for that. Oh, yes, I will. So, okay, cool. Consider looking at micro522.com. It's linked in the description. Take a look at all those skins. Consider looking at the recent Rust Workshop skin checks videos. Consider looking at the collections of the skins. We've got the Return of Chrome collection right there. We also happen to see Brain Drain. We also happen to see some pretty cool looking AK-47s. A wonderful lineup of SKSs appeared previous weekend. Olympus, Porcelain, Arctic Skull, Independent Designs, No Mercy, Thunder Gold. Oh, it's all there, even Blackout. But this past weekend, it was actually a bit quiet, which was a bit of a surprise. But do not forget barbecues tomorrow. I expect 2. We'll probably only see 1. But there's even some very nice, interesting designs from notable collections that have appeared as well. Would you like a very scary, freaky looking Abyss barbecue? Would you like a ever so nice and elegant tempered? Sorry, I lost my tongue there. Tempered. What about Nuke Vibe? The eyes at night time, they scare me. Ah. We also happen to have Twisted Metal. Don't get your hand caught in that mouth, it'll bite it off. Ah, doesn't appear to glow in the dark. That's just like light from the sun. And then, yeah, Nuke Vibe. Could we see the return of Nuke Vibe? It's a vibe. Yes. Oh. So, okay, cool. That's it. That's a wrap. So, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Feel free to comment below. Did you buy anything from the Rust store? Feel free to comment below. What do you expect to appear in the Rust store tomorrow? And do not forget, we are expecting a certain DLC tomorrow. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, poor, unfortunate Xenotype. You appeared at the worst possible time. It is a bit odd though, because this all started like getting mentioned around October time, whilst Xenotype Collection was still progressing. Props to Sendox for making that as well. So, I've spoken with my chat. I think $30 is the smart choice, but I'm expecting it to be $20. I reckon for a 16-pack DLC of boxes, $30 would be perfectly appropriate. But I think they'll go for 20. So yeah, we'll see what happens there then. And that's it. That's a wrap. So thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you all later. See you, goodbye.